In shamelessly arguing with vegans, I'm presenting certain arguments that we hear quite frequently and often from various beings who present themselves to us, pretending to be carnivores or omnivores and not really human, because somehow the whole world has purchased a lie, along with those meat, eggs, and dairy, that we are meant to consume animals and animal products, otherwise we can't live. And this lie has led to death, violence, climate change, various diseases, pandemics, and suffering all over the planet. So I thought that enough is enough. And I thought that instead of dealing with each person one at a time, I could just simply offer this book, Shamelessly Arguing with Vegans, which I have written, well thought out, and I've presented 150 different arguments to help all my vegan friends survive this hostility that we are presented with day after day, and who knows, even figure out a solution together, because this is also an analysis of psychology, of how people think, how they behave, and how they sort of defend their options, their choices, their behavior, and the resistances or blocks that they have towards a social change. Now, before I present an argument from this book at random, I always pull up some cards, tarot, oracle, something positive, a message for vegans. This is for vegans because I love you, because I'm vegan. We all are going to the same planet, aren't we? We all are interested in the same world vision of a beautiful world, free of abuse, free of harm, free of exploitation, a world which is actually decent enough to live in. So let's see what the cards have to say for us in this journey together. Oh wow, what a lovely card. Now this time I'm using tarot cards after a very long time. Normally I use oracles. This is a new one that I got, which is actually an old deck that I had from before, long ago. But this is a new version of it. It's a more colorful one. And as you can see, 9 of Pentacles represents this beautiful woman standing amidst lush greenery, probably a beautiful garden of Eden sort of a situation. I'm saying Eden after earthling it, probably. We are Edenarians. We believe that God created plants for us to eat and not animals. So this garden of Eden, whatever you want to call it now, has this feeling that there's prosperity for everyone. Because one thing that happens when we go vegan is that when the planet goes vegan, that so much of land is freed up. Imagine 80 to 85% of arable land that we can actually grow trees on is being usurped by the animal agriculture industry, controlled by them to keep animals as slaves over there. So many animals, more than 100, probably 150 billion per year, are kept on that land and just controlled, their whole life controlled. They're turned into commodities and slaves, and then they're murdered in the end. And this practice is just such a big crime that is going unnoticed, even as everyone eats them. And not only that, it causes world hunger, it causes poverty. Why is our real estate so expensive? Why don't we have enough money? Why do we have to slog so hard and pay such taxes and still not keep up with the rising inflation and the rising energy prices and the rising costs of living? It's a huge crisis that is in our midst, and the solution exists right here on our plates. Really, yes, if we go vegan, we're going to solve every problem of the world, aren't we? And we're going to be richer, we're going to be healthier, we're going to be more prosperous, we're going to have more trees, we're going to have abundance, we're going to have peace of mind and success and good fortune. So what are we waiting for? Isn't that an amazing message? So let me see from that wonderful tarot card whether we can materialize it or not. What is the block here? Today, what block is the devil of ignorance presenting us? Argument 60. What difference can one person make? Now, I knew this was coming, because when I said, oh, we'll all be prosperous because 85% of the land will be freed and we'll have so much land to plant trees on. Everything that I said is killed by this one argument, isn't it? Look, I'm just one person. If I go vegan, it doesn't free up so much land, does it? It doesn't free up so much of prosperity for us. The world's problem is not solved by just one person going vegan. It's only if the government does something, isn't it? government, even the government does something, there are so many countries in the world. I don't think all countries are going to take a joint decision on one night unless they pass a treaty like the plant-based treaty. And by the way, it's a good treaty. Do sign it, plant-based treaty, and to share it with your councillors, share it with your MPs, and put pressure on the governments that we have it international treaties and we can make a difference. See, one person can make a difference. You can. Who knows? You might be the champion of your city. So whether we are making that huge difference in our governments or not, or whether we have a magic wand or not, we can still make a difference to that one animal whom we are eating that day. I mean, imagine it's the whole life of that being. I mean, that is a good enough reason in itself. You don't have to save the whole world. But that animal, the whole world of that animal is being saved if you don't consume that animal. I mean, spare that one life. You're not even saving a life. I'm not saying go to a slaughterhouse, open the cage, rescue a battery, bird or something. I'm not saying that even, because I know that maybe you are doing a job and maybe you have to earn money and, you are in the system. So you don't have the time to go to a slaughterhouse and free up a hen and go to jail for it. I understand that we all are struggling. Our own stories are going on in our lives matrix. But the least that we can do is to not kill somebody. Think about it. That's the least that's expected of a decent, good human being. So when we are paying for that, somebody is being killed for us. It's in our hands. The blood is in our hands. We can't say the blood is in the government's hands. It's in the slaughterhouse's hands. It's in the hands of the factory farmers. It's in the hands of the industry. The industry should be banned first. The blood is directly in our hands if we are ordering that plate of food, which is the life of a creature, even if it's dairy or eggs. Remember, it takes life of somebody else. It's control and abuse of somebody else. It's exploitation of someone. And it's also harmful to you. It's harmful to your health. Every bit of it is just negative energy going into your body, going into your mind, and blocking your heart center and making you a person who feels bad about himself overall from inside, even though outside you're trying to protect yourself and say, oh no, I'm okay, I'm a good person. But actually, in the heart of hearts, your soul knows the truth. So all the negative energy is there and there, even though you might try to mask it with your makeup and good clothing and your good behavior outside and your polite, decent behavior towards others in your human life. Your soul knows the truth, and that's why we all suffer internally. We all are crying and we all are sad internally, and there's a lot of negative energy in the world because of this collective unconsciousness. So yes, when you shift your vibrations, amazing things can and will happen. One more thing that happens is magical. That if you visualize a positive world and you are in a positive world, who knows, you might shift into a positive world. I did that for myself. I said, I want to live in a world in which there are no slaughterhouses. I want to be in heaven. And what happened? I ended up suddenly presented an opportunity of buying a house in a town in which slaughterhouses are banned. So, who knows? You could shift your vibrations and you could shift your reality if you just do believe in it. And who knows, if we gain enough magical power, then one day we could shift our planet. Either fly to a better planet or shift the vibrations of this very planet and free up and liberate the animals here. Who knows? We can all be free. So let us do it together and see you next time.